Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Rao coming to you on this Friday morning. I found some time, so I thought I'll come and be of service and chat with you a little bit. So I was with a couple of friends this morning, and we were talking about something deeper that people wanted to talk about. So I will engage that with you also. If you want to come up, you can come up and then we can strike up a conversation for whatever you want to talk about and we go from there. Okay? So there's somebody on the clubhouse want to come up. I invited their or I wanted them to come up and I invited them. Hopefully, I sent the invitation. Okay. So as they come up, we're going to discuss some of these things and we'll go from there. Okay. So they asked him to come up. For some reason, he's not coming up. Anyway, I was having this conversation with something deeper that people wanted to know. Uh, it was about experience and realization of the true self, right? Uh, so it's about, are we body and mind, or are we uh, beyond the body and mind, something that we uh, feel like I am? Okay, that was the question. When you experience body and mind as the direct experience, as the first hand experience, how can you negate that without experiencing the real you? We may have a concept, we may formulate an idea that who we are, but unless it comes into your direct experience, you cannot negate this feeling of about body and mind, right? So they always say you're not the body, you're not the mind, but you are that behind your, so feeling of body and mind. you know. That's what they were talking about. So I was telling them, if the experience of your body and mind is the first hand, then what you are behind that should be also experienced, not intellectualized, not conceptualized, right? And that's the problem with our modern people are, we think everything is with our thought and with our intellect, and we can give a meaning with a conceptual thinking. But as you are human being, as you are an entity, you are not a thought, you are not a concept, you are that which is the conscious being or energy or life. uh, that's not measurable, that's not something that can be grasped into an idea and put into a box, right? So stop that and then just feel, intuitively feel who you are. You already know who you are. That kind of awareness intuitively can reveal to you what you really are. You know, and then that is a witness consciousness that experiences our body and mind, everything that's happening in the mind. So once you go beyond the thought and intellect and conceptualize thinking, then you can feel for yourself what you are, where you are at, right? So that's the one you want to understand, and that's very important for people to stop continuous thinking process and realize who they are with their intuitive awareness, not with a thought, right? That kind of thing. Okay, so you always feel like that, right? So that's what you want to understand about that. So there are people in the Wisdom app. Let me see who they are and see if come up. Yeah, there is Miss Wright and Patrick, Shemaka, Wandering Foot, Lavidas, Daryl, and Reggie Woodwardson, um, Ross Curtis, Kayla. Thank you all for being here. But if you want to come up, then that will be wonderful. And anyway. So the big question is, who am I? That is what we were talking about this morning. And if you want to wind through your thought and your definition of the measurement that you have, probably you will miss it, But if you can really look at it with that awareness, which is beyond the thinking, then you can feel it and you know it also. As a child, you have the sense of me. Closely observe it and look at it. Did you feel any change with it, or did you felt like it is growing or getting old, or that feeling is something permanent, right? Whereas your body can be old, your mind can accumulate a lot of knowledge and can be old, constantly changing. Whereas this feeling of I never changes. What comes in between are the innumerable thoughts. So just try to identify where those thoughts are coming from. What is the root of those thoughts? And if you can look at it, that is the inner awareness that you find. And once you establish in that, then thoughts can come and serve us, but thought will not be unconditional, thought will not be unconscious, compulsive, and driving you whichever way your senses go and bring the data, and the mind reacts and all, right? So once you can stop and observe whatever is happening in your mind, then you can see series of thoughts coming and going, negative and positive, and mostly precipitated by the sensory input, right? Then you can stop and say, where is these thoughts coming from? What is the ground they took place? And then go and stay in that ground where it is coming from. Then you can see thoughts stop automatically. And then you will be in the real conscious being of yours. And that is the real you. And once you are there, the mind and the body becomes the tools, objects to your consciousness. Then you can manage them much better. That's what we were talking about this morning. And we don't argue with my friends. We kind of explore these things together. So if you are not in the truth seeking, finding out what is true, not according to what I think or what I have conclusions about or what I establish myself in certain kind of pattern of thinking, then you are having an open mind and you are open to the discussion or exploration of the truth of the matter, right? This in Sanskrit they call Satya Sodhana. Satya means truth. Sodhana means inquiry, exploring into the truth. And once you are embarked on that, you are not eager to uh, say that I am correct, what I know is correct. But what you want to see is how can I explore into the races of this truth and examine all points of view and then derive, um, uh, really let the inquiry reveal to me what is truth. So, truth as the authority, not authority as the truth. Even in the social media, I see them in all the apps that I was working on. I can see them. Some people want to assert themselves. Some people want to uh, say authoritatively, this is the way we should be thinking. This is the way you should be agreeing this is the way you, and the reward will be you will get that this month. I think we have to be away from all that and really not agree anything as truth until we explore all corners of it and find out what it is. So if you can see the truth, let that truth be the authority. Let it reveal itself rather than somebody who has a position, who has some popularity, and they say, "Oh, I'm the so popular, I'm so big here, so that I'm going to tell you this is the way you should think, this is the way you should accept it." That is he himself is deluding himself, and he's also trying to impose his own thinking, his own conclusions on other people. So all you can do is invite people to inquire, to explore into the truth. Okay, that's what we will. This kind of association we call it like satsang. That means sat means good people, sang means association, where dialogue happens, not argument. What do you mean? Dialogue is where I can present my viewpoint, you will listen, and you will present your viewpoint, I will also listen. After that, we explore the corners of the topic. Um, all sorts of explorations happen in that mutual respect and mutual listening to each other. Whereas in argument, you kind of uh, you kind of really uh, take a position and say this is correct, this is right, this is the truth. So you got to agree with me. Otherwise, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to get upset that you did not agree with me. The so-called meeting of minds and all that also is kind of comfortably settling in something that we both do not want to explore much further. It requires a lot of energy, lot of subtlety, lot of patience to be with the uh, far reaches of truth, right? So it requires a real good pace, maybe slow down, maybe hold the questions in your consciousness for a while, and then you may see that, right? So those kind of things. Okay. So if you want to uh, if you want to really understand the truth, that is the exercise where you respect other person, respect their viewpoint, and also have the patience to listen and explore that, and also have the courage to put aside your viewpoint and ask them to present their viewpoint and then respectfully listen to them and then examine that. Okay. And then you should also have the freedom to express your viewpoint so the other person can listen and explore too. That is what's called satsang. Okay, that's what I do with my friends. Yesterday somebody called me from California. I think they were running a huge wellness-based organization, and they want me to be collaborating with them. I was delighted to do that. I will do that. But meanwhile, we were talking about this wellness movement around the world. And so I'm very happy that they were doing such a big organization. I'm going to be associated with them because I'm a wellness promoter. I want people to be well. I want people to enjoy their life and then be in a good shape that they can have the experiences, have the learning, have the exploration of what is they want. So physically strong, flexible, and mm, mentally you are alert, aware, awake, and also you are energetic and you are heart-wise you are kind, compassion, and really loving. And ultimately not only the body, mind, and the heart, but also you want to have joy in your life, right? If you want to do something, then you are really enjoying that, and then you kind of have good time. All that. Okay? It's not pressure I'm talking about. It's okay. Having joy in everything you do, in your relationships, in your job, in your entrepreneurial work, whatever you do. Not only you are kind of free, liberated person, but also you are working for the society, for the welfare of the entire society around you. You know, that I call it really being well. When your surroundings are well because of you, when your earth is well because of you, because the way you consume things or you restrict things, and then you regenerate the resource of the earth, and that is when you are really contribute to the wellness of the um, earth itself. So it goes much deeper, right? So this wellness optimization, wellness encouragement, wellness enhancement that I do is in tune with what they are doing. So we were very excited to find each other, and they have organization which I'm going to be participant, and I will contribute what I can, maybe give some lectures, go and educate their young people, and then give lectures on the disease process, prevention, maintenance, and if they want some spiritual matters also. It all depends upon how they want to enhance their system, the body, mind, and spirit. We have exercises, we have lessons for that. For example, burnout coaching, which I do for the physicians, nurses, pharmacists, and all healthcare personnel, is about internal resilience. How can you increase your internal resilience so that you are strong enough to face the world and to face the job or circumstances that you have around that, right? So what you do is you take care of your body with asanas or breathing exercises, and also take care of the mind by being in the present and then doing the deep breaths, which cut down the thoughts, and having a good quality sleep, and also uh, really selecting what kind of food you eat and how you eat it and all that, and also calming the mind, clearing the mind twice a day. These are the things that I usually call comprehensive self-care. That means doesn't mean that you are selfishly doing only you taking care of yourself and don't do anything. No, how do you work? What kind of attitude you bring? Do you bring an attitude of quick reactive mode or quick anger and all that, or you bring in like a relaxed, deep breathing has caused you to slow down your thoughts, and then you can focus better, and then you can relate with the employees or colleagues better, and also you are really contributed to the development or improvement of the institution. Not like what is in it for me, but it's like what can I do for the institution, that kind of thing. Okay. If you do all of that, then people will appreciate, and then you have less resistance around you, and you have less stress in your job, and then, wherever you work, right? So that's what I wanted to do with wellness: optimize it, enhance it, and help the systems go towards that kind of philosophy. So that's a major goal where I want to really allow the health systems to look at this preventive and maintenance more, and also really help people to understand what is illness versus wellness, and put some procedures in the health system itself to have this kind of atmosphere where wellness is in the culture, wellness is in the teaching, wellness is in the implementation of policies that we have in the hospital system. Okay, right now it's all revenue based. Right now it's all insurance controlled, and right now it is the drug companies. And all. But what I'm talking about is each individual having this health consciousness, whereby they say, I'm going to take care of my body better, my mind better, not in a narcissistic way, but more like a good principle of keeping my instruments well, body and mind, my instruments well, so that I can really turn inward and find out who I am. Or I can turn around and then relate with my people, with my staff, with my family, with my friends, and everybody in a reasonable way, so that your presence is welcome and you are really contributing to the morale of whatever you are doing. Right? That kind of. So for me, wellness is a big deal, and wellness optimization is something that we need. And by not getting sick that much, by living a long, healthy life, we can cut down on the healthcare bill. Right now, it is $4.3 trillion, trillion with a T, right? That's way more expensive than some 12 countries put together. So this is absolutely sometimes waste, So we can start with ourselves, each one, and be health conscious, be wellness oriented, and all the life styles are promoting healthy lifestyles, and thereby people are more health conscious, people are more with this kind of practices. I think that's a very serious uh, aspiration, and but it doesn't matter because I am following what I'm talking about. So I'm a vegetarian. I eat only when I'm hungry, but when I eat, I sit down and eat with mindfulness, and also I chew and select foods carefully, like vegetables and fruits maximum, maybe whole grain like a brown rice, brown bread, things like that, and avoid all the meats at any cost. And I'm doing pretty well. I'm 68. I don't have any medications because I don't have any medical conditions that I need to treat now. I had them, but I fixed them. Now I don't have to do anything. For last maybe 7 or 8 years, I have not taken any medication. Before I used to take some aspirin, even that aspirin, because I do enough time in the morning, in the evening to work on my body, and all day I want to keep my mind calm and focused. Okay, and that helps a lot. I don't want to worry, but I want to take care of the problems. And I don't want to react, but I want to respond to challenges I face in my life. Okay, all that really helps a lot. What else? So once you understand this kind of orientation, wellness-oriented health system, they can save a lot of money and really use it for people who need it, and also for the research and also education purposes. That way we become more productive rather than just being illness is rewarded by staying home and all that. So less of absenteeism, more savings and investment opportunities into some things, good equipment. A lot of good things are coming in terms of AI or microbiome or um, genetics, nutrigenetics. So many good things are coming up, right? We can exploit them to improve our lot a lot. So that kind of orientation is it. So my drive is talk to health systems and then make them be aware of this wellness oriented health systems, and maybe provide opportunities for the employees, for the doctors, nurses, pharmacists to take care of their own health and be examples to other people, and also create some wellness oasis where the patients who are coming in will get an opportunity to understand this kind of attitude, and then they may take care of them better. Hospitals and clinics may not do it because they feel like they are going to do the revenue opportunity, otherwise they have. But then that's why individual person should be health conscious and should be doing it in his life, and then advocating in the family and outside the family too. That's what I'm trying to do. Other thing I'm hoping to do is when I go to a health system that has the capacity to produce healthcare data at a higher degree, then I want to take that health data and see what are my wellness measures are producing, in terms of results. Then we can compile that data and present it to other health systems so that they can also examine it at least, and then do some of it. Right now, they are doing a little bit of it, but not this kind of scale I'm talking about. They do prevention a little bit, but they uh, want standard things, right? But then health maintenance and improving the lifestyles and improving the chronic disease outcomes is where I have the beef about healthcare system. So if you help with natural lifestyles, I think a lot of problems of getting ill and also suffering from the illness and spending so much money, all those things can be curtailed. That's what I'm always talking about, you know. And in the long way, we'll also help the Mother Earth because we are saving on the resources quite a bit. You know, non-consumptive, just use what you need, and also we don't waste our resources on unnecessary illness, absenteeism, and all. Of course, there's so much of mental health problem, right, with the current society. So you get to pay attention to them socio-economically and also education-wise, and so that people will lead a much joyful life versus much more anxiety-ridden or depression-ridden life. You know, it's happening, right? That's what I'm saying. So by being simple inwardly, like a childlike, you have less problems with your own mind, with your own psychiatric problems, and also you relate better, and you will be a productive person because you are free enough to learn a lot of new things and contribute. These days, college kids don't get anything with a standard college degree, right? They can do it, but then they have to do other courses that are digital so that they can get a high paying job, which is a very encouraging, very good thing. But then the orientation should be there, and then they should have the mind and body vigorous enough to absorb these new skills, the new technology. If they do it, I think the human beings can help themselves and also the society. So, wellness oriented health systems and planet health. These are my two, um, you can call them like my two callings or something like that. I'm really motivated about these two and I want to focus on this. So, I have devised a burnout program, for example. That's a 12-week course that I individually work with physicians because so many people are burning out and we are having doctors shortage already. If this situation continues where we are not able to fix the burnout problem of the physician, we will have a situation where there are so few doctors that it's going to constitute by itself national emergency. I believe. So that's something that people are worried about, the doctors now. So I also want to really help the technology implement faster in the hospitals and clinics so that they can take advantage of it. I was the first one to implement EMRs and all in the Midwest area back in 2006 or 7. I think I don't remember, but very early. But nobody else was there around here, and later on, people have picked up on that. I still try to train people on the EMR and the big data and all that, because I believe that kind of technological advantage makes all this information that is in silos before is released, and then more data will be democratic, and more can be sent to other physicians as need appropriate, right? So that's all there. So holistic, no, towards wellness-oriented health systems requires several levels of involvement, several levels of understanding, and also trying to change it for the better. You know, so most of the people are looking at this seriously, and but they don't have support on the revenue side. So there may be a system where if you take care of your health better, you will be rewarded. That means, suppose you are a patient and you have come to work somewhere and they took a blood sample and they find all your bloods are pretty normal, good, and also you don't have family history of these diseases, then they will let you go. Otherwise, they'll have to check your blood test and make sure what is wrong with that. And then once uh, once you implement them, it will be good for everybody. Okay. So that's what I wanted to talk about. It's almost half an hour now. So um, I will be concluding it in a few seconds and I will be back again. Basically, I wanted to chat to you about what is it that is inside of us, which is not our body, which is not our mind, and how do we reach that kind of spot, the center, the silence, the truth factor? And how do we use that in our life so that our mind and bodies are better protected and maintained and managed? And we also talked about what is the wellness oriented health system I'm talking about. Okay? Uh, so with that, I will stop there. And if you have any other questions, you can come up. Otherwise, I'll close. There are people on the wisdom app, 25 people there. So anybody wants to come up, you're welcome. Otherwise, I'm closing down in a minute. I just said what I need to say, but if somebody comes as a, for a dialogue, that would be nice. So if somebody wants to come up on the clubhouse. Hi,
Yeah, hi, Mr. Rao.
how are you?
Yeah, all right. Thanks for asking. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Great.
Where do you
So,
come from?
I'm in India. I
Okay,
stay in Kolkata.
Calcutta. Okay, very good. Bengali. Very good. Ravindranath Tagore. I remember him all that. So, what do you do in
Okay.
Calcutta?
Yeah, I worked in the telecom industry for the last 15 years.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah,
How are things in Calcutta? Everything is good?
yeah. It's the winter season, so today is very chill.
Ah, okay.
So temperature is almost 13 degrees. So
Oh, that's cold for you,
not
right?
chilly. Yeah.
Yeah. I live in Iowa, in USA. It's very cold here, usually. But we are used to that, right? We have been very cold for so many years. So we have our ways to deal with it.
Where is the place? I didn't
Iowa,
get that.
Iowa, USA,
Iowa. Okay.
state of Iowa, next to Chicago, Iowa state is there. So
Okay. Yeah.
it's a very cold place here. That's why.
Yeah. How long are you there?
Oh, I came here in 1981, at the end of 81. So I've been here for a
Oh,
long time.
long time.
Yeah, yeah. I come and visit India, but then later I was not able to come because of this COVID, right? So I'm in touch with India in so many ways, because it's much easier now to call people and talk to them before. Before it was very tough when I first came here. Telephone was
Mhm.
difficult, but now it is very easy, very nice. I'm enjoying that now. My sisters and brothers are there, so I call them, and then I can talk as much as I want now. Before I was not able to do that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Mhm. So you have a long experience in the US and in your profession. I hope.
yeah,
So, do you enjoy your
yeah,
work in
very much.
US especially?
Yeah, very much, because I like taking care of my patients, and that's very nice. And now I'm meeting people on the online too, and people come and ask me some questions. If I know it, I will tell them. I enjoy that.
Okay. And which uh, you know, I don't know your specialty and
Oh, I'm in internal
profession.
medicine.
Uh, yeah, I didn't get that, because of poor network.
Internal medicine.
Oh, internal
Yeah,
medicine.
medicine. Yeah, medical.
Uh,
Yeah. We see all sorts of
okay.
patients.
Mm. Is there any network issue in your area? Because I sometimes, voices
It could be. It
drop
could
and.
be. Lately, this cold has caused some problems with the internet,
Mhm.
and that is causing some problems. Yeah. But normally, I can hear you. Okay, you are all right. But maybe this side of the end is not coming to you.
Okay, okay.
It could be. I don't know. So,
Yeah. I've seen you on a couple of rooms, and I've seen you in Global Nation room also.
Yeah, yeah,
So I liked your speech in that particular room of a Global Nation.
okay.
And yeah, so what are you doing, alone here and trying to make a speech? So I
Yeah.
thought you are
Usually,
taking some
I
something.
don't get the time to announce and prepare and come. Something comes up at the time. That's why when I get the time, I just appear and then talk to people. And lots of times they listen to the recorded ones, So that's why whatever I want to say, I will say. If somebody comes up, I will talk to them. Earlier, somebody
Mm.
wants to come up, but when I put them up, they did not come because they was not allowing them. So I was not able to bring them up. So
Oh yeah, it happened.
yeah,
It
it happened.
happened in
Yeah, because of that.
Clubhouse.
Yeah, because of,
Yeah.
he raised the hands. I tried to pull him up, and then he did not come. So I said, okay. I tried 3 or 4 times. So I don't care how many people are here. If I have something I want to say, I will come and say that. And but I come to other
Yeah.
rooms too, and then there people also ask me questions. I talk to them. That's okay, no problem. But if I
Yeah.
announce a room and I tell the topic, and there are more likelihood of people coming up and talking to me, that's good. But otherwise, when I come on here, usually sometimes it could be a couple of people or sometimes nobody. But I just talk and then I leave. It's up to them to come and talk to me. If they don't want to, that's fine too. Because I record them, they can play back and listen to it later. Some people do. My parents who are there, they do, and then they send me DMs with their own questions after they listen. That's why I come to know they listened it. You know.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice.
yeah,
How it's quite important.
yeah,
And maybe people can listen you.
yeah, yeah. They
After
do. They do listen. I have
yeah after
thousands of followers on the clubhouse and in the other places too. I think here are around 11,000 in clubhouse like that. So I know people are listening, but they don't come whenever I want them because I'm popping up suddenly because I have found the time. So that's okay. And
yeah.
I think tomorrow or Sunday, somewhere I'm talking about obesity and how to handle obesity. And tonight I'm talking some spiritual thing about observer and observed. So like that, there are so many requests also people make to come and talk to their rooms, and I usually try to go there if I have the time, and then I try to participate in the room.
Today we talk about observer.
Tonight at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. What is that? What
Yeah,
is the topic of talking?
observer and the observed. That's a major spiritual thing, like a how we view things and what is that in us that sees things, and are they different, or the according to your conditioning to see that kind of thing. Then, if you understand it, then you suppose you have a conception about something, you will see things only through that conception. But oh, that conception is wrong, then you have to really revisit your observer status and then question that. People don't do that. That's why they are not able to accept change, accept things that are going to be um, different, right? And that's why, suppose in science principle also, suppose everybody is following Newtonian physics, but you have this quantum physics. So unless you understand quantum physics, you can understand a lot of things in life, a lot of things in technology, right? Like that. So your observer, if he's not growing, if he's not changing, if he's not adapting things, then you want to observe things according to whatever your condition. You see, that is what we are talking about. Much deeper discussion. Physics people also have come up with this observer and observed phenomena. And J. Krishnamurti, have you heard of him? He's an Indian, J. Krishnamurti. He talked about this too.
Mm,
Yeah, he's a very big
okay.
philosopher. He's known all over the world. He's actually, they call him world teacher. So I studied him a while ago, and he makes a lot of sense about this kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, that's great. So, at what time in India you woke up this room?
I think it's 5 p.m. is versus early morning 4:30 probably.
Right now, it's 10:54
Yeah,
p.m.
tomorrow morning 4:30.
4:30 in
Uh,
India.
in India.
Okay.
Here it is 5 o'clock. You are half an hour behind. Actually, you are ahead of us, 11 and a half hours. You know, that's why you go into the next Saturday morning. Here it is
Yes.
still Friday evening. That's I
Friday.
talk to my
Okay.
family every day. That's why I know what is India time right now. you know, so I know at any given time what is the Indian time is because I can see on my wall clock, and also I see the clock so that I know my people are sleeping there or they are able to talk. So that's why I come to know. We have this uh, daylight saving time. They change them, right? So sometimes you are one and a half hour, or sometimes half an hour. Nowadays, half an hour back your morning time, and ours is Indian time. Okay, ours is 5 o'clock here. Yours is 4:30 in the morning. That kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
But you can listen
Thank you
to
very
the
much.
recording also if you
Yes.
want to. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thanks, doctor.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
Yeah. I'll
We'll close the room now.
join
Okay.
next.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
I'll close the rooms now.